you're in for it now.
How was Creepshow?
Oh man, it's I think they have different writers and different directors maybe for each. So maybe like Tales from the Crypt, you know how like they had different stories.
Oh yeah.
It's a little different than Tales from the Crypt though, because it's not like Tales from the Crypt and even in the original EC comics, the format was always like a cautionary tale. You know what I mean? Like sometimes they would do a racism tale or something, like where a dude who was racist ends up being, you know, black or something, and now he has to experience racism and he gets, you know what I mean. Or, you know, they would always flip it like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so, but this one's not so much. Like, this is just like them just...
Scary stories.
Yeah, just scary shit. Just anything, really. I mean, there was a few in there that were like that. But overall, it's just like, you know...
Like the movies, like the original movies, right?
Yeah, it was a lot like Creepshow, the movie, more than Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
Know? So, yeah, that's what you expect. And it's I appreciate the effort that they put into it, but at the same time, it is a little bit low budget. Like the one I didn't like was the one they had this little cheap ass monster. I mean, you could have got this motherfucker up in here. You know what I mean? It just moved them around doing some stop motion shit.
I think I know what you're talking
jerky.
about.
Yeah.
Was it the one where it's a little monster and he befriends the skinny guy, right?
Dude, it looked like Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire was on crack. You know what I mean?
And he eats all his enemies or something like that.
Yeah. Some of the stories aren't that really clear. Even after you watch, you're like, what the fuck did I just watch? And yeah, I didn't understand what the fuck that was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I was like, whatever. I mean, that was the one where you could just tell. But I was like, y'all shouldn't even made this. It was fucking bad.
Yeah, I seen like the first few episodes.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay. I wasn't too crazy about it, but I don't know if it's because I'm older now, and you know when you get older, things that scared you when you were a kid don't really scare you when you're older.
Yeah. They had some creepy ones. I forgot the exact one, but one was like some of them were clever though. And you get towards the end and you're like, oh shit, that was cool, you know. And then it's stuff like that. I'm pretty sure if you've seen the first one, then you see it was kind of like the blob type thing where the dude.
Yeah,
the first episode. Yeah, I thought that was cool. They had some cool actors.
That one's cool. Yeah,
you know what I mean, dude from
that actor from that movie.
Saw.
Yeah, Saw.
Yeah, dude from Saw was on there. That was cool as fuck.
I did like that one. Yeah.
That was like a nod to like classic Universal horror in a way, you know what I mean?
You know, speaking of that episode, that lady in the diner, she serves the kid breakfast, or she serves him some plate. I think that lady's the same lady that comes out in that movie, The Creepshow. Where
I haven't seen the original in so long though.
Oh man, I can't even talk to you about it.
I know, no, fuck it, you can spoil it. I don't care. Like,
but for the audience listening, there's the original Creepshow with the monster underneath the stairs. They have him locked and chained in this big wooden box, and this guy takes his wife, who's just a bitch to him, and she goes down there, and of course she gets eaten by that monster. Anyway, I think that lady that gets eaten by the monster, I think it's the same lady that comes out in this new show.
It might be like a cameo or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I was like, I wonder if it's that lady, but I think it is.
It could be, bro. That one was a good. They had one that reminded me of that that show that used to be on Nickelodeon, Are You Afraid of the Dark? You know, it was on Snick. They would run it like on Saturdays, on late afternoons.
Yeah.
And it was like it has the creepiest intro ever. Like it has like a clown, a little puppet. It's creepy as fuck. But they would always do horror, and it involved kids around a campfire. They would tell these stories, and it was Midnight Club. That was the name of their shit, right? And so yeah, they would just tell these horror stories, and then they would play out, you know, in the show, and they were really cool. And that's what it reminded me of. Because it was about these kids that were trick-or-treating in the Creepshow, in the new Creepshow. And for some reason, every house that they would trick-or-treat, like the ladies or whatever, they would come were scared of them and shit. Like, we don't have candy or whatever. And like they were they were about to get killed or something. I was like, what the fuck? Like, why are these kids punking these people?
Yeah.
And it had something to do with the murder of a kid or something. Because they had like this other kid with them that was like in a ghost thing. And basically at the end, spoiler alert, you end up finding out that the kids were mostly dead already, like they were ghosts and shit. And only one dude was alive or something like that. I was like, okay, that was cool. You know what I mean? Like,
that's a cool little plot twist.
Yeah, it's like a little
right
twist.
There.
Yeah, exactly. So they had a few in there like that, and then some of the other ones I thought were kind of stupid.
Yeah.
They had one that was about it was like retro '80s, but it was cool because it was about like a what do you call it? Shit, like that lake monster thing. Fuck, I can't.
The green one.
The motherfucker that's in Scotland, that fucking
No, I don't.
that fucking the monster, the sea monster. What do you call that?
Swamp thing.
I don't know why the fuck I'm blanking out, but anyways, though, it was about this dinosaur-looking monster.
Okay.
In a lake, and it was but it was also something that involved
the creature
kids.
from the Green Lagoon.
No, not.
Oh man.
It was like it's a real life like mythology thing that's in
Okay.
Scotland. I don't know why the fuck I'm blanking out.
Oh
Pretty
yeah,
far-
Loch Ness
Loch
monster.
Ness monster. Yeah, it was
Got
pretty
you.
much that, but it's set in America with like this kids with family, and they had like this fucking bad stepdad, and it was crazy. But it was it was really adult theme. That's one thing though that I take away from that show. It's like it's really adult theme. Like they cuss, they show kids in fucked up situations. You know what I mean,
Real
getting
life
killed
shit.
and shit. Like yeah. So it don't hold back. You know what I mean. So
So
hopefully in season 2 they'll get a bigger budget.
why? What would you recommend the audience to watch that? To sign up for the Shudder streamline?
Oh, that's it. I don't know if that's a hard one. I guess if
If
you're
you
a
gotta think about
diehard,
it,
if
nah.
you're a diehard horror fan, then
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean.
okay.
Especially if you're a fan of Creepshow, the original ones, Tales from the Crypt, that kind of thing. Then hell yeah.
You know it's okay to be scared, right?